Hi, welcome. This is Professor TenBrink, and with me I have Andrew, and I'm so excited. He's actually one of my former MBA students. He is an MBA graduate from the University of Houston downtown, 2017. So today we're going to talk a little bit about strategy, of course. So Andrew, tell us about yourself.
Yeah, sure. So I'm originally from Arizona. I moved to Houston, I'd say about 10 years ago now. But I guess growing up, really, I've always been a little hustler. I've always wanted to do additional things. I remember as young as 14, I used to sweep up hair at barbershops just to make some extra money, go to different people's houses just to do their lawn. So that's kind of been my thing, I guess, starting out. And then as I progressed, obviously got a day job. But I realized early on that there's only a limited amount of time in the day. Mm-hmm. And so working for an hourly job wasn't ideal, especially for what I was trying to get. So I eventually transitioned into sales, and I did that for about 10 years. And it started in the retail space, and then I eventually transitioned over to more B2B. But as I went along with that, I noticed I just like having my own thing. And I came out and just really understood that different side hustles can help get you there. So I have a few different things that I'm doing now in addition to a day job. But yeah, essentially that's a little bit about myself.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
So Andrew's use of the word side hustle, I would, as a professor, call that entrepreneurialism. And there's side hustle is also a great word. I like it.
Yeah.
Very good. So I want to ask you, since you were a former student of mine, what aspects of the strategy did you find the most helpful? Like when you were studying strategy and then you were running some of your entrepreneurial side hustles, what did you find that was the most useful?
I'd say just really understanding the landscape. So doing the research, looking at your competition. Mm-hmm. I leveraged that quite a bit, and just really digging in and understanding the business. And more importantly, just doing it. I think a lot of entrepreneurs do a lot of debating of, hey, I think this would work. No, just hop in and test it and see what happens. So I'd say that's probably one of the few things that I did.
Oh, that's cool. So could you give us an example of maybe what the trade-off is between how much research you would do and hopping in? And has it evolved? For example,
sure.
I know one of your businesses, he's involved in social media, and that's one of your latest businesses. Post-MBA, post other gigs that you have. Has that shifted? Do you jump in more quickly, or do you revert back to some method or mode of research before you hop in?
Sure. Yeah. So I do a little bit of both. I see what other individuals are doing online, and I'm not timid when it comes to hopping in to try to do something new. So I hop in and see exactly what it's like, but I also like to analyze the competitors. So it's a little bit of both.
Okay, wonderful. So what aspects of strategy do you find the most difficult? Like right now with your current, in your current environment or your current social media efforts, what do you find the most difficult in terms of strategy?
In terms of scalability. So obviously I'm doing everything myself, and it's fun, but again, it comes down to I'm only one person and I can only do so much in a day. So right now I'm actually looking to find either individuals or look at different technologies that help me scale so I can increase the efficiency of the business.
Okay, wonderful. And then reverting back to the social business a bit more.
Sure.
How have you been able to deal with market segmentation?
Sure. So remind me what market segmentation is.
The market segmentation was the last time you and I spoke, you were really excited because, and this is where I thought it'd be great to have Andrew come in and speak with you all, is because you had been struggling with, if I can use that word, trying to figure out how you can't be everything to everybody, but you have a different sort of sense of business or place or strategy based on the firm, what the firm wants to convey.
Yes. So for market segmentation, I realized when I first initially started, I tried to cater to everybody, and that just was a recipe for disaster. And so I eventually broke off into individual niches of social media. Um, and so that seemed to be a lot more effective. I saw engagement was tend to be a lot higher. There's just more people just knew what to expect, and I think that was very helpful. And I've been able to replicate that across different niches, and it's been quite successful.
Oh, that's wonderful. It's a good example of being successful and being nimble and dynamic on your feet.
Agreed.
So, could you tell us a little bit about how the pace of technology or the pace of innovation, whether it's in Houston or in your business segments, impacts you as an entrepreneur?
Yeah. So obviously, technology is what I leverage quite a bit. Everything is on my phone, so just looking at different applications that come out, that tends to help me be more nimble. Whether it's uh, something that can help me schedule different content pieces, or um, just make the process a lot easier, which takes away from me having to manually do it. So it's really just streamlining that. But yeah, it's critical in the business. And again, just to scale and do different uh, different entities of that. Yeah, it's definitely necessary.
And an interesting question for anyone out there that would like to be an entrepreneur is you had, I don't know if you could tell us about, did you have a defining start moment for any of your later in life entrepreneurial um, efforts? Like, for example, the social media or
Sure.
your online sales business. At what point did you pull the trigger? And at what point did you divest or exit, if you have exited?
Sure. Yeah. So I'd say uh, so I proposed the option with a few friends saying, "Hey, I want to do this. Do you guys want to be a part of it?" And they didn't respond, and that rubbed me the wrong way. But uh, nothing against them, but it was just I wanted to try to get something done, and so really, like I said, I like to dive in head first just to test it out, and if it works, it works. If it doesn't, that's perfectly fine too. Um, and so I guess on the flip side of that, if I'm in or if I start something and I see that it's not working, I'm very quick to say that this isn't what I expected it to be and it's not working out. So I guess for both decision making, whether it's starting or exiting, I try to be as quick as possible because it's just a waste of time to try to. I mean, the market's the market, meaning um, it, you can envision something so much, but if the market isn't receptive to that idea, it's a waste of your time to try to push it.
Okay. And I think that maybe you could tell the viewers the barriers to entry in the segments that you've been in have been pretty low. So it's
Agreed.
pretty
Yeah.
easy to get in, pretty easy to get out, right?
Exactly right. Yeah.
So because some people may be wondering if you're building nuclear power plants, oh, I'll just build one and they have a couple $1 billion and forget that.
Yeah. No, everything is free. All you need to have is a cell phone, which most people have. So
App based, internet based, social media based.
exactly right.
Right. Okay, I think that's great to know. Andrew, do you think that you would ever switch full time into being an entrepreneur? Like
I like
100%?
I like juggling multiple things at a time. I just like the opportunity of, and I call it a side hustle, but really it's just another stream of revenue that is nice to have. Again, I just like having the flexibility of being able to do different things, and if it's too much to handle, I like juggling both. I like the day job, and I also like um, having other streams of income.
So one of the things that we talk about in strategy is vertical integration or horizontal integration or diversification, however you want to look at it. So I was wondering, have you ever been to the point where you've looked at something in your current business and thought about scaling up or scaling down, which would be getting closer to the customer or getting further away because you see opportunities to move?
Absolutely, but it just depends on if it takes away from the core foundation of what I'm trying to do.
Right.
I think there's always ways to interact with the customers more, but that obviously as a one man shop, that's very difficult to do, especially if there's other areas in which I'm trying to maintain. So it's just difficult to get to that granular level without additional help.
And I think that's a point for almost anyone out there. I mean, whether it's a 1-person shop, 10-person, or 100,000, you only have you have limited resources, you have limited time, and people have to make choices on what their footprint is, right? And so even though you have wear multiple hats and as one person, at the end of the day, you could say, hey, I would like to do this. Perhaps I could make more money. Perhaps there's some amazing synergies here, but I'm going to choose not to because the payoff isn't great enough, or I don't feel like I have the extra time to do this. I don't want to work 24/7.
Exactly right.
That's wonderful. So what do you think you're going to do next? Do you have any plans?
Um, Probably a couple different things, and I don't want to give out too much, but again, I'm looking to scale. So trying to find whether it's technology that helps me do that or individuals that help me do that. I think that's going to be very impactful for the business. Again, because I like the passive income stream, but again, I don't want to put in additional work to get that. So yeah, just being able to expand the team or find technologies to supplement that.
That's wonderful. And it's funny, bringing on additional human capital is such a hard thing at times. I think people try to make it look easy with LinkedIn and interviews or posting it at a local school, which people can do, or asking your friend. But it's so hard to find the right fit and make sure that person is enjoyable to be around.
Yeah, I would agree. It's definitely not easy. It takes a certain person for every role. So it's, yeah, I would agree.
All right. Well, I'm going to close it here. Do you have any last comments?
No. So I'd say just as an inspiring entrepreneur or someone who just wants a side hustle, just really focus on honing your craft. And prior to that, just find something that you enjoy. Obviously, there's money in a lot of different things, but with the internet, there are a ton of things that you can do. If you're interested in something, there's bound to be someone else that's interested, and there's a way you can monetize that. So just uncovering that, making sure you're happy, because at the end of the day, if that's not it, you're going to be miserable, and it's just going to be back to square one.
I think that's great. And on that note, I want to share something. So I started my own firm. I had a film company, and I ran that for many, many years. And that actually started from a similar place. I really wanted to get involved in film. I wanted to make a difference. And I'm not talking Lionsgate or Disney, but on my own level.
Yeah.
And I was very passionate about it for a long time. And, the money part wasn't as important to me at that point in time. At that point in time, it was, what are you passionate about? And how do you have fun? And that was actually before I got my PhD. So I didn't even have the strategy aura always around me.
Yeah.
But the funny thing is, check this out. I spent probably a year on my business plan. Talk about research. I was so into research. I had data and figures and tables and everything. And you know what? It made me happy. I enjoyed it. And when I pulled the trigger and started moving forward, I was well prepared.
Yeah.
But I can understand why not everyone may want to do that.
That's fair. Yeah.
But great. Well, thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Appreciate it. And we'll wrap up. Thanks, Andrew.
Thanks.